Alright, we will be looking at the remainder of the packet, starting with problem number 12. It says, what is the value of f of negative 3? And they give us the function notation f of x equals 3x squared minus 7. Notice how they've taken x and substituted negative 3. So we will simply do that. Substitute negative 3 in for x in both sides of this equation. X becomes negative 3. X becomes negative 3. Now we can use the calculator to evaluate this side. F of negative 3 equals negative 3 quantity squared is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. 27 minus 7 is 20. F of negative 3 is 20. The correct answer to 12 is B. This statement here, f of negative 3 is 20, is analogous to saying that when x is negative 3, y is 20. This ordered pair is an equivalent statement as saying the function maps negative 3 to 20. Number 13. What is the slope of the line described by the equation 8x plus 12y equals 18? Well, from previous notes, we know to find the slope of the line, we can simply solve for y, and then slope is the coefficient of x. So, solving for y, we will first subtract 8x from both sides. This subtracts and leaves 12y on the left. We have negative 18 minus 8x on the right, or negative 8x minus 18. Lastly, we divide by the coefficient 12. 12 divides 12 to leave y. Negative 8 divides 12, that is a negative 2/3, and it keeps the x with that term. Negative 18 divide negative 12. Negative 18 divide positive 12, pardon me, is a minus 3 over 2. So, in the equation y equals negative 2/3 x minus 3 over 2, the slope is negative 2/3. That is the slope. Negative 3 over 2 is the y-intercept. That is the point 0, negative 3 over 2. Slope is the coefficient of x after we solve for y. The correct answer on number 13, therefore, is B. Alright. 14. Which equation best describes the relationship between the number of hours spent shopping and the number of souvenirs bought? Well, one thing we can do is find the slope. We know that slope is change in y divided by change in x. The change in y is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's find the change in y from any 2 points we can choose. Well, from 3 to 5, that is an increase of 2. I can simply find that by subtracting 5 minus 3. Since I did 5 minus 3 in the x's, I must do 3 minus 1. That too is an increase of 2. So, change in y divided by change in x. In this case, that's 2 divided 2. And 2 divided 2 is 1. So my slope is 1. Well, that eliminates C and D as they have slopes of 3 and 4. Here A we see has a slope of 1, and so does B. So the question is, which mapping is it? Well, we know we want 1 to map to 3. We know we want 1 to map to 3 and 3 to map to 5. So let's do the substitution, assuming that it is B. Substituting 1 in place of x. 1 plus 5 yields 6. We want 1 to map to 3. So substituting into A, 1 plus 2 is 3. When x is 1, y is 3. A is the which equation shows y as a function of x? When we say y as a function of x, another way to state that is we want to solve for y. So we see they've used function notation over here. They've replaced y with f of x. We're going to solve for y. Solving for y, we'll simply subtract 3x from both sides. 3x subtracts 3x to leave y on the left. We have 4 minus 3x on the right. We can write that as a negative 3x plus 4. Now we will simply change y for function notation. F of x equals negative 3x plus 4. And we see the correct answer is D. All right. Problem number 16. The graph of a function is shown below. Which best describes the function? Well, let us note the y-intercept here. 0, negative 2. Therefore, we know in the form y equals mx plus b. B tells us the y-intercept. So we will be seeking a function that has minus 2 as the y-intercept. A is a possibility. B is not. It's plus 2. C is not. D is a possibility. Alright, so the difference between A and D is the slope. This has a slope of negative 1 over 2. This has a slope of negative 2. Well, let's find the slope. One way we define the slope is rise over run. Rise, in this case, it's a negative slope. We'll be going down. The run is always to the right. We will work between any 2 points. We have a solid point here and then another one right here. So drawing a right triangle between those 2 points. We can see that we go down 1 unit. That's negative 1. We go to the right 2 units. That's a positive 2. So our rise is negative 1 and our run to the right is positive 2. That is our slope. Our slope is a negative 1/2. Thus the answer on number 16 is A. Number 17. It says the graph of the function y equals 3x plus 5 is shown below. If the line is translated 3 units down, which will best describe the new line? Well, if we translate it 3 units down, that's going to change the y-intercept. It'll leave the slope the same. So, since the slope will remain the same, we can eliminate D. D changes the slope from 3 in the original equation to 1. If we translate 3 units down, it's going to decrease our y-intercept by 3. Currently our y-intercept is at 0.5. If we decrease that by 3, 1, 2, 3, the new y-intercept will be 0.2. So we are seeking a line that has slope of 3 and a y-intercept of 2. And that is A. In the equation y equals 3x plus 2, the slope is 3. That's the coefficient of x. The y-intercept is 2. And that is the point 0, 2. All right. Problem 18. What are the x and the y-intercepts of the graph below? Well, the x-intercept is the point where the x-axis and the line intersect, and we can see it's right there. That is -6, 0. Notice that the y value is 0 because we didn't go up or down any. Now the y-intercept. 0, -4. That's the y-intercept. This is the x-intercept. Notice at the intercepts, both have a 0. At the intercepts, there will always be a 0 involved. So the x-intercept is a -6, the y-intercept is a -4. The correct answer is D. Number 19 is a strict proportion problem. You can set up a cross multiplication and solve that. I'll leave that for you. Number 20 is similar to number 18. I'll leave that one for you as well. Lastly, we have number 21. It asks for the y-intercept of the function f of x equals -5 times x minus 3. Well, again, this is function notation. We can think of this as being y equals. In order to find the slope and y-intercept, I will simply distribute this -5. So we have f of x equals -5 times x is a -5x. -5 times -3 will be a plus 15. In the equation, f of x equals -5x plus 15. The slope is -5. The y-intercept is positive 15. The correct answer on 21 is D.